Here's why I'm so excited about Apple's new Mac Studio. Welcome everybody, welcome to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here and you can find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to enable those notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, Apple has added the Mac Studio to its Mac lineup. The first new addition in many years. And this thing has got me excited. Here is why I am buying one and why you might want to be excited too. To understand why I'm so excited, we have to look at Apple's lineup as a whole. And I literally mean a whole, because there's a hole in Apple's Mac lineup. If we look at other product lines from Apple, you'll see what I'm talking about. For example, iPads, right? You've got a ton of them to choose from. You have the basic iPad, which then goes up to an iPad mini and an iPad Air, then an 11-inch iPad Pro and a 12.9-inch iPad Pro, running the gamut in terms of performance, internals, and features and everything like that. And the same thing holds true for Apple's Mac portable lineup. We start on the low end with the MacBook Air before we have an entry-level MacBook Pro, in this case with the M1 on the inside. Then we have a 14 and a 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro and M1 Max Silicon on the inside. So again, ranging the gamut really from basic, more affordable, entry-level, all the way up to an incredibly expensive and powerful machine on the high end that's going to really cater to pros. But when it comes to the desktop lineup for Apple, it's fairly limiting. You have a Mac Mini, which only has the M1 processor, if we don't count the Intel option that's still available. Then it goes up to the 24-inch iMac, which still has the M1 on the inside. And then your only other option is the $6,000 Mac Pro. That is the other option in the lineup. And yes, Apple did have the 27-inch iMac as well as the iMac Pro that have both been since discontinued. And I think for good reason. See, the iMac line was always intended to be more consumer-friendly and fun. And I think that the new 24-inch iMac is a return to form. Apple went with the bright colors and simplicity and affordability of the product line compared to something like the Mac Pro or the 27-inch iMac or iMac Pro that was previously available. I would even argue that the 27-inch iMac or iMac Pro also didn't fill this hole because that was filling part of a lineup with the 24-inch all-in-one. So there was an all-in-one 24-inch and an all-in-one 27-inch. Then there was the headless Mac option with a Mac Mini and a $6,000 Mac Pro. There was nothing between a Mac Mini and a Mac Pro. So if you wanted a headless Mac, your option were those two machines, which left a lot to be desired. And a lot of prosumers who were targeting that 27-inch model are looking for a headless Mac. A headless Mac is inherently more modular. When I was working in coding, I would have much preferred a vertical display than a horizontal one. By having a headless Mac and a monitor separate, you have that option. You also have the option in terms of what size display you want. Maybe you want a 24-inch or a 27-inch or a 32. You have that control. Similarly with resolution, 4K, 5K, 6K monitor, it's up to you, as well as that orientation that I already mentioned, or if you have a specific brand or color profile that you're looking to dial in on. You don't have those options with an all-in-one. Let's not forget the mounts either. Do you want just a tilting mount, a height adjustable mount? Do you want a VESA mount option? You couldn't do many of those with an all-in-one iMac. Another benefit of a headless Mac is the fact that it's less wasteful in the long term. When the computer gets antiquated, you're able to upgrade just the Mac Studio itself without having to upgrade the entire thing. You can keep your display and just get an upgraded Mac Studio or headless Mac to go with. Or if your display breaks, you don't have to replace your whole computer or pay to get the whole computer repaired or replaced. It's much more affordable just to buy a new display and keep your Mac and its components separate. In the long term, it can reduce waste and can be easier to upgrade different components in the setup. It's for those reasons that a headless Mac needed to exist between the Mac Mini and the Mac Pro. Before the Mac Studio, Your option was a Mac Mini for less than $1,000, could get a little higher, or a $6,000 Mac Pro with nothing in between. You can get the 24-inch iMac with similar specs, or you could get an Apple Silicon 27-inch Mac had they introduced it, but it still wouldn't have fit the needs of a lot of people. By going for the modular Mac Studio with a ton of ports and a wide range of prices from a $2,000 M1 Max, that's incredibly powerful, to an even more powerful M1 Ultra, Apple fills a lot of gaps. So you have like the $1,000, sub $1,000 price point with a Mac Mini, going up to a Mac Studio with an M1 Max, then doubling that to an M1 Ultra Mac Studio, and still leaving room for the Mac Pro above that for the highest end professionals. And Apple will soon introduce a new Mac Pro with Apple Silicon on the inside that sounds like it's going to have multiple M1 Ultras inside, 4 M1 Max processors on the inside of the new Mac Pro. So yes, I am buying the new Mac Studio. I am beyond excited at Apple's abilities to deliver this product with a good price point and performance to match. It filled a wide hole in Apple's Mac lineup that I'm sure consumers, prosumers, and pros are all going to flock to. There are still people out there who want a 27-inch iMac or an iMac Pro, and I think it's possible Apple will still introduce one down the line. But Apple still needs this headless Mac option for a lot of consumers. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, or find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. If you want to get a Mac Studio for yourself, I've already started gathering deals, and I put the links below in the description. Otherwise, stay tuned. Got more videos heading your way.